Hi girls, today I want to tell you a story about a woman who was looking at herself in the mirror, and she used to think that she wasn't enough until she realized the opposite. So this woman, she spent most of her life believing that she wasn't enough. Not smart enough, not confident enough, not worthy enough. But the truth, she was never the problem. You know, most of you never heard about the habit of shrinking. So just listen to the rest of the story. This lady, she learned how to make herself smaller. So at work, she stayed quiet, even when she had answers. And in conversations, she laughed off her ideas because, before anyone else could dismiss them. And in love, she accepted the bare minimum, convincing herself that it was all she deserved. And she called it humility. Right? But it wasn't. This is called self-erasure. Okay? Self-erasure, it's different than humility, and it's different than trying to be humble. This is called shrinking, because people, they want to shrink you, to put you in a compartment and decide who you are. They're gonna decide for you. So of course, some people, they walk confidently, on social media. We keep scrolling and seeing, idolized shoots. And we live in this illusion of images that people draw of themselves, which is not the reality. Because the reality is totally different than what you see on social media. This lady, she looked at others like if they had something she didn't have, and the confidence looked for her like intelligence. And being far away from people in the distance looked for her like a value, and loudness looked for her like power. So she used to rank them. She put them on a pedestal and kept going higher and higher until she forgot that they are human too. They are like her. When exactly the cracks started to begin so she can see clearly? During her small wins, when she started speaking up, when she started walking away, when she started to make quiet reflections. And then, after that, something shifted. She spoke up once, and of course, nobody was dismissing her anymore. She stopped overgiving, and also she noticed who disappeared and who stayed. And she tried something she feared, and she realized she could handle it. She was facing the hard truth and discovered her real power. Not perfectly, but enough to realize that she has very strong personality. And one day the truth became impossible to ignore, so she wasn't underqualified and she wasn't less than others. She had just been overestimating everyone else. At this moment, she started reclaiming herself. So she started walking confidently. She started putting boundaries and setting, her boundaries in front of everyone. She started working for herself, smiling, a natural smile. She started choosing differently, and she spoke even when her voice shook. She dared to walk away from what didn't choose her, and she reached for things she once thought they were out of her reach or league. And slowly, she stopped asking, am I enough for them? And she started asking the real question that she has to ask herself. Are they enough for me? So this lady, she didn't become louder and she didn't become somebody else. She just became honest with herself. And for the first time in her life, she stood in her own space without shrinking, because she finally understood that she was never too small. She just made others too big. So you have to know your worth, then act like it. If this spoke to you, or you feel it's the case of somebody else, you want to give them advice, don't forget to send it, share it, like it, and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.